Good morning, doctor. Welcome back.
Good morning, Venkatesh. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
Pretty good. You can hear me and see me properly, no?
Yeah, all good. So, our
Good, good.
topic for today is keep an open mind. A lot of the things we have been talking about on our wellness over the last few weeks, keeping on learning, staying flexible, being adaptable, making peace and accepting change, all of them require an open mind. And keeping an open mind is something we can actually cultivate for our wellness. And that's why the topic. Yes, doctor?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Over to you. Over to you, doc.
So, okay. Well, welcome to Venkatesh again from my side.
Thank you.
So, so he's inviting me or I'm inviting him, I don't know. But the end result is the same.
Yeah.
Okay. Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Please go ahead.
Hello. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Now, when we are talking of open mind,
Yeah.
90% of people carry closed minds.
Correct.
I'll repeat this. 90% of people carry a closed mind.
Right.
They'll say, what is this? This is too drastic a statement. And I have got all things lined up properly, and I have an open mind, and my family has an open mind. Everybody is open-minded.
Right.
You say, okay, let's see how open you are.
Right.
So, you can start off with something. First morning, you want to shave your beard.
Right.
And it's a very simple thing. But when you go to look at it in the mirror, you see that 50% of your face has not been shaved properly. And
Right.
then there they burst open and then start abusing the housekeeper or the spouse or somebody because that person forgot to keep the face and the shaving part intact. Now, this leads to a sort of an outburst.
Right.
You'll wonder what is there so good about this. It's like this that you sit down to shave and then you see that you cannot shave and then you get upset. Now,
Right.
the sign of upset brain or mind is an indication of the closed mind.
Right.
Yeah. If you, if you want to just carry on with that, it's okay. But
Right.
then many times we keep asking for things, and then if they are not exactly the way we want them,
Want them to
he
be.
get
Correct.
upset, and that's a total mind. Yeah,
Correct.
it's a very simple example and may not apply all the time, but
Right.
then it is an indication of how close the person you love, for example, your spouse, you
Right.
know, you get upset with spouse, and that's a
Right.
sign of a closed mind.
Right.
you know, so closed mind is a universal phenomenon.
Right.
You want to do something and you cannot do it properly, and you are not willing to adjust or accommodate.
Right.
Adjustment and accommodation is the sign of an open mind, and
Correct.
many times we don't.
Correct.
We only lead to a little bit of more upsetness and then similar negative feelings and so forth.
Correct.
So when we keep an open mind, we appear to be doing it very routinely, but we are not. 90% of your behavior,
Right.
whether in the office such and such is happening, whether in the society some such and such thing is happening, and if you are not agreeable to that, you have an open mind.
Right. You have a closed
It
mind.
may
Yeah.
again sound
Correct. No, I think it's
drastic, but
yeah, but I think it's an important point you make. The moment we have expectations, whether of the temperature of the shaving water, or of the shaving blade, or of somebody's behavior, of some assistance, or we basically expect something to happen in a particular way. In some ways we are being rigid about it,
right,
and if we are the moment
right,
we are unable to accept that there is a lot of things we don't understand, we don't know, and there is more to it than meets the eye, it's a sign of a closed mind. You're right, I understand what you're saying. Yes.
correct, correct. Right, very true. Next slide, please.
Yeah.
Many times, a closed mind accompanies or is preceded by a closed heart.
Right.
Here again, a bit googly. You'll say, I have an open mind, and going back to that same example of the shaving exercise in the morning,
Right.
and if it's not happening, uh, then it's not happening because your heart is not open.
Right.
Your mind is not open, and your heart is open, and your mind and heart often work in tandem, work
Correct.
together.
Correct.
And so this is when a wholesome personality behavior pattern evolves.
Right.
You cannot have one part of your brain open and another part of the brain closed, but then you sync everything.
Correct.
And uh, this is how you behave.
Correct.
And this is a fundamental aspect of behavior.
Correct.
And we get excited and you congratulate people for open mind, but the same people will irritate you, and then you go into a closed mind pattern.
Correct.
Hmm?
Correct. No, I think, yeah,
There's
this
an
point
example.
of,
Yeah.
sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think you're making a very important point, I guess, which is true of all things related to balance, right? A lot of our talk is about balance, harmony, right? Your mind and heart have to be in harmony. And mind is basically at the intellectual level, and heart is at the emotional level. You can think of it like that, as we will soon discuss. So, if you are,
Right.
if you've got feelings of hostility or insecurity or whatever, it prevents you. Even if you think at an intellectual level you want to be open, it's very difficult to be, right? Because your emotions get the better of you.
Right. Right. Now, here comes an example of Richard Nixon,
Right.
the erstwhile so famous, not so good person of Richard Nixon, the president who bombarded Vietnam and neighboring countries mercilessly.
Right.
And when somebody asked him, "What are you doing?" He said, "I am destroying all the jungles so that my troops can move easily. So
Right.
if my troops are covered by foliage, then we
Right.
won't be able to identify the enemy and we won't be able to win the war."
Right.
So, and then somebody said, "Oh, better ways of doing that than destroying, hectares of land."
Correct.
But then Richard Nixon said, "I have made up my mind. Don't confuse me with facts." What did he say? "I
Yes.
have made up my mind.
Correct.
So don't confuse me with facts." Now
Confuse me with
he
facts.
wants a
Yeah.
confusion. He wants a confusion to be in his favor. That
Yeah.
is a sign of a closed mind.
Correct. Absolutely. Nothing
When
could be a
people are
better statement of a
destroying,
closed mind. Yeah. If you consider
yeah,
facts
that's
as
right.
being confusing, if you say that facts will confuse me, the very nature of facts is that facts are facts. And you have to accept facts at least, if not opinions. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Right, right. So open mind and open heart have to go together.
Correct.
Now, if they are in sync and you are on the positive side of the line,
Right.
then you get a very ideal person. You get an ideal person who is open, rational, and smiling and accommodating and so forth.
Yeah.
And if there is a little chink in the armor somewhere, then there is a problem.
Right.
So what does it really mean? Mind is like a parachute. Hmm?
Yeah.
And the parachute doesn't work unless it is in the open position,
Correct.
right? So
Correct.
people say mind is like a parachute. This is a standard statement made by many HR people.
Correct.
Hmm? Mind is like a parachute, and it doesn't open, cannot open unless it is,
Or rather, it doesn't
unless it
work
is,
unless it's
back.
open. Correct.
Yeah. So it has to be backed up. Your mind and your rest of your behavior, rest of your demeanor will have to be in sync,
Correct.
and then only your mind will work properly,
Correct.
and so forth. So
Correct.
mind is like a parachute.
Correct.
Nixon or
No,
no
and it's a very
Nixon,
good
mind
metaphor
will
because, sorry.
go ahead.
Yeah, no, I think it's a very good metaphor also because in life, there are many times, especially to your shaving example, when you don't like
Yeah.
what's happening, you feel irritated because things are pulling you down, and a parachute actually prevents you from, it sort of buffers your fall, right? It makes any ups and downs more smooth, and for that you have to allow the air in. So exactly like you said,
Right.
a parachute is a way, like it's like a shock absorber, it's in a shock absorber in reverse. So in effect,
Right.
very good point, that your mind can buffer you from all the ups and downs or from the falls in life only if it is open. Yeah, super, super.
Right. 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 Very good. Next slide, please.
Yeah.
So again, there are certain wise man statements like open mind and an open heart are the cornerstones of wisdom. Now,
Correct.
open mind and open heart have to go together.
Correct.
In this proverb, in this saying,
Correct.
open mind and open heart go together. And
Correct.
they do. 90% of the times they go together.
Correct.
Hmm? So we're reinforcing whatever we said a little
Correct.
while earlier. The
Correct.
mind going with the open heart. And
Correct.
look at it the other way around. You cannot have an open mind without an open heart. That is where
Correct.
the value systems come.
Correct.
Now,
Correct.
open mind and open heart, they are governed by your value systems.
Correct.
And we will see that in some other
Shortly.
context pretty soon.
Or even
Yeah,
in today's
yeah,
talk, we'll see it, I guess. No, and I think a very important
yeah.
point
We'll,
is, sorry, I'm talking over you. Sorry, go ahead.
yeah, yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead. No problem. No
Yeah.
problem.
No, so I said
So, open mind.
the wisdom that you're saying that there is wisdom comes from this is a very good point, because at some level, like you have been describing in the talk today, very often when we say somebody is a wise person or seems wise, that person, the how do we know it? We see quite often that that person is not upset by small things or even big things. The person is able to keep their equanimity. So to your, whether it's your shaving example or irritability at home or office or whatever, that quite often goes with your
Right,
expectation that the world must work in the way you want. People must think in the way you want. And wisdom
right,
quite often is shown by the fact that you're open to all types of situations, all types of thought. So very good point. Very good point.
right. And in an open person, in a balanced person,
Right.
if there is any rough edge, the
Correct.
brain and the mind sort of patch it up or correct it, sort of whitewash it or whatever. It's for the
Smooths
better
over
of the
the,
person's life.
yeah, smooths over the rough edges.
Yeah. So, and in this process, the value of education, formal education, is
Correct.
appreciated.
Correct.
Now, there are people who say, I don't need to have an education to be successful in life. There was one chief minister of Tamil Nadu by name Kamaraj,
Right.
and they said jokingly, would say, he wouldn't even ever get close to a school building so that, the shadow of the school building will fall on his shirt or something. So he
Correct.
kept away diligently and deliberately kept away from all educational activities. But lo and behold, hmm,
Right.
Kamaraj was the epitome of wisdom. And what is wisdom? Wisdom is, again, distilling all the good things on your side and eliminating all the bad things
Correct.
and doing it on a continuous basis. And
Correct.
this is education.
Correct.
And the education may not be flaunted around by any open politician or anybody,
Correct.
but education is very important to improve one's overall personality,
Correct.
demeanor. Overall
Correct.
demeanor should be better.
Correct.
So education, and this was said by another wise man, Malcolm Forbes, and so forth.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I
Next
think the
slide, please.
line there is worth discussing for a minute. So the line there, if you can read it, it says, education is to replace an empty mind with an open mind. So I think it's a very good
Ah,
slide you have picked up, because there is a difference between an open mind and an empty mind. If your mind is open, doesn't mean it's empty,
right.
right? In fact, you might argue that education fills your mind with ideas, but it makes you more open because you have been
Right,
used to diverse ideas. Very, very good. You had selected this, so
right,
I,
right, right.
I thought I should just get you to mention that. Yeah.
Good, 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 very good. Yeah. Next slide, please.
Yeah.
Now we are entering a domain where the mind and the heart and the soul and all these things interplay
Right.
and yield the final result of a personality.
Correct.
Now, if your my heart and if your personality is okay, it means
Right.
by implication your behavior, excuse me, your personality is well-rounded and it accepts everything, and then the difficulties of accommodating, a shaven face or a not so shaven a face and so forth, will automatically be dissolved and brought to parallel demeanors.
Right.
So this is done at the brain level,
Right.
but mind you, today, Venkatesh will correct myself. Today, there is a hell of a lot of science behind all this neurochemistry and immuno-neurochemistry and so forth.
Correct.
And they play a very, very important role, so to
Correct.
speak, in sort of smoothing out your personality. And let
Correct.
us see what that personality is about.
Correct. Correct.
So, what is that personality?
Right.
The latest word or latest terminology is psycho psycho-neuro-immunology. Oh my God, what a tongue twister it is.
Right.
And is there really any such psycho-neuro-immunologist? People will wonder yes or no. And
Right.
the answer today is becoming more of a yes.
Correct.
Now, let's see what exactly is this.
Correct.
This has a bearing on your behavior and demeanor and even value systems, your psychology, your makeup, etc. And it is a composite of these three elements put together. And there could be more elements also.
Correct.
At least this author listed only three elements, but
Correct.
then the three fuse,
Correct.
and then they change your personality. What is it?
Correct.
Psychology. Psychology, it's a study of the mind and seeing that your mind is in okay shape.
Correct.
And next is neurology.
Correct.
Neurology is consisting of neurons or nerve
Right.
cells in the brain, which is more structural. Psychology is more uh, sort of implication kind of a
Yeah.
thing.
So
You have to
psychology is
derive
sort
so
of the
many
software that
formulae, etc.
runs psychology is a software that runs on the hardware of, I guess, neurology.
Absolutely,
Correct.
absolutely. And of late, there is another element of immunology that has come.
Correct.
Immunology is the study of immune
Immune system.
behavior.
Correct.
And yeah, so here, immunology, one would imagine that why should an immunology be involved in your behavior at all? Neurons are neurons, and they will behave the way they want, they will fire the way they want, and so forth. So
Correct.
many people may say, okay, for psychology and neurology, but not for immunology.
Right.
You wonder why this dichotomy or trichotomy or quadrichotomy or whatever.
Right.
No, I'm sure more and more sciences will be added to this long tongue twister element.
Right.
And it is an interdisciplinary introduction which is coming up nowadays.
Right.
Now, this will, in the extreme, it will take you parapsychology and whatnot. We are not going to get into that. These three elements are capable of being studied.
Right.
Psychology is, there are any number of examples of psychological behavior and immunology and so forth. And then neurology, you can see the neurons. Immunology, you can see the antibodies. You
Right.
know, so all these three things put together, you end up with a very fascinating kaleidoscope of behavioral psychology.
Right.
And this come to stay.
Correct. I think, doctor,
Hardly
it's
7 or 8 or 10 years ago, people would laugh.
right. No, I think, doctor, it's
Yeah,
important, I think, to emphasize the new introduction here of immunology and how this connects to wellness. And I guess not
right.
just recently. Doctor, could you come forward, please? I Doctor, can you come forward, please?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Um, uh, even
yeah, yeah. Come.
yeah,
Is it?
even I guess 50 years ago, everyone knew that if you are stressed, your immunity goes down, right? The more
Yeah,
stressed you are, the more unhappy
right,
you are, the more easily you fall ill. And I guess what you are describing through this multi-syllable word
right.
is the explanation for that, as we are going to discuss. That
Yeah,
I just wanted to simplify it, that immunology
right.
is about how we fall ill and how
Yeah,
we are able to manage negative stresses in the environment physically. And that it is highly connected to neurology and
right.
psychology, we are going to discuss right now. Yeah, does that make sense, doctor?
Right, right. Right, right,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah,
And as we said, the fourth element of faith has entered the picture. And the faith
correct,
is an indication of the way you believe in something, believe in a
correct,
person, believe in a religion and something. And that faith connected intricately with the mind and the body and the soul and so forth.
correct,
So it's a very, very complex and mind-boggling combination of various things, chemical, not so chemical, behavioral, not so behavioral, and so forth. And
right,
this is where we are studying this more and more in details. And
correct,
what we thought earlier was not controllable is now opening itself to control.
correct,
And that will eventually improve your or stand in the way of your proper balanced behavior. So your
correct.
balance, you know, in mind and body balance, is a nice and little golden that is there. How to
A
balance
word.
your
Yeah,
left
correct,
side and the right side and so forth.
correct.
So, any comment on that, Vinku?
Yeah, no, I think we are, as
Yeah, it's
we are
okay.
using,
Yeah, next slide.
yeah, we are on the next slide, mind and body. You want to go beyond this?
Yeah. Well, what? Yeah, there is another slide, no?
Yeah. Can you see it? Mind, body,
The
heart,
slide
and
is yeah, soul.
go ahead.
This is one slide. Okay, can you see that one slide?
Can you see the slide in front of you?
Okay, anyway, go to the next slide.
Yeah, I'm on the slide. Mind,
Yeah,
body,
slide is
heart,
in
and
front
soul.
of. Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Now, your immunology, immunopharmacology, and immunobiology, etc., will have control over mind and body and the soul. And you can imagine the complexity. Yeah,
Yes. So this brings us to the question of mind over matter as we were discussing. Yes.
right, right. Now, this phraseology, mind over matter, is easily understood by the lay people.
Right.
If you are putting the best efforts of on the mental side, and then with that power of concentration, you are achieving things, then you say you are working mind over matter.
Right.
So you it's a standard terminology. I mean, it's a phraseology used on all occasions, and there is no it's a proverbial content as such. But mind over matter is an established thing, right from the days of Alexander or Ashoka. People were succeeding with mind over matter,
Correct.
and for which our endocrinology and neuropsycho immunology endocrinology will come into operation.
Correct.
So
So,
mind
doctor,
over matter is an operative statement.
Doctor, what I'll do is I'll
Yeah.
just the last 2, 3 slides, I will just synthesize before we move into the next slide. I think because there was a bit of an interruption in the way
Okay.
you were seeing the slides. So I think what we discussed in the last 3 slides
Yeah.
was going back that we started
Yeah.
discussing how immunology or our immune system is connected to our psychology and our neurology. And we then said that we are looking at
Right.
this from the perspective of why we say our whole wellness is mind, body, heart, and soul. Right. And when we look at this,
Right. Right.
when all of these are in balance, when we are not stressed, we feel stress as we discussed during this entire thing. When these are not in balance, they often happen
Right.
when we have some kind of a
Right.
problem with our expectation of what's going on around us. So we finally came to mind over matter and connected it
Right.
before we now move forward. Doctor, I'll hand back to you. We were saying that the reason why we
Yeah.
say mind over matter, even when it comes to wellness, even very physical things like illness
Yeah.
and so on, have a lot to do with how we are thinking about the world. The more open we are, the less perturbed we are,
Right.
the better our wellness. Is that a fair summary of the last 4 slides, Doctor, before we move on?
No, absolutely. 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 You have done it. You have hit the nail on the head.
Yeah.
So
Now we'll
whatever
move forward.
asynchrony expected with the slides earlier.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Now we can proceed now. There
Yeah,
is
I'm moving forward.
there's no problem. You take over for yeah.
No, now go ahead. Go ahead, Doctor. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. So mind over matter. Now this means unleashing the infinite power of the mind.
Correct.
Mind over matter is what your mind becomes so full
Correct.
that it can overcome other obstacles, and your mind is unleashing itself, and
Correct.
so forth.
Correct.
And that should be enough for our kind of understanding,
Correct.
because ultimately all these will have a chemical, electrical, and other implied ramification.
Correct.
So
Correct.
your neurology, your psychology, your immunology, your religion, for that matter, no, Vedic science. You see here,
Correct.
Vedic science has entered in a very big way,
Right.
thanks to the tabletop kinds of examples and so forth. Mind over matter is finding its way into uh, channel TV, or
Right.
what is it called? Is it
I guess as we
Talk TV or
understand
whatever?
Vedic, our
So the
scriptures, that is what our scriptures have been saying, that you can use your mind to control your
yeah,
wellness and your state of mind, uh, controls your body, controls your health, is part of actually our own tradition in Vedic philosophy. Correct?
correct, correct, and that constitutes the consciousness that we are talking about.
Correct.
If somebody is aware and conscious, volitionally active, involved in all this, then it's mind over matter.
Correct.
And
Correct.
the ancient sages uh, took over this mind over matter, and 24/7 they lived in the mind over matter state.
Correct.
So
Correct.
it's a Vedic science is in operation,
Correct.
and this moves slightly into parapsychology and stuff like that. And not everybody may agree with this, but we are not taking it to that extent. But we have sort of dissociated or unraveled the connections, mind and matter, and so
Correct.
forth.
Correct.
So it's for the sake of didactic convenience we are doing that. But
Correct.
otherwise, it is all in sync.
And which I
Thing is
think
in psychology, in religion, parapsychology.
yeah, I think the
Yeah,
from a very simple perspective, this slide sums up what we are trying to say about the connection between an open mind and our wellness, even at a physical level. Handing over to you, doctor. Yeah, you can see the slide.
correct, correct. Yeah. So fine. The next slide you can go on.
No, I think, doctor, we have not discussed the slide. I'm saying, I think in very simple terms, we need to discuss that stress causes sickness, even things like cancer. Is that the slide you can
Okay.
see in front of you?
Absolutely. That's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
let
Because the mind. Hello.
one second.
Right. So as this slide indicates,
Go ahead, doctor.
and as Venkatesh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Psych,
Yeah, we are talking about stress causes sickness, doctor. And
okay. Now, if you put all the elements of psychology and biology together,
right,
we come to the conclusion of what we mean by stress. Now,
right,
the word stress is a condensed version of what things are happening without your knowledge or understanding. That is
right,
stress. And
correct,
that leads to sickness. Now, stress and sickness are the same, one and the
correct,
same.
correct,
And you spell it differently. And if
right,
you are stressed, you are sick. And if you are sick if you are stressed.
correct,
Okay. And these are inevitable consequences of our biology.
correct,
And the underlying chemistry is that psychology, neurology, immunology. Now it's everything is chemistry also here. Don't forget that psychology is chemistry, neurology is
neurology is
chemistry,
chemistry
immunology
and
is
immunology
chemistry.
is
So
chemistry.
we have,
Correct,
yeah. So here is the blend of immunology and chemistry and so forth, which lo and behold, our own professors of physiology 40, 50 years ago talked about.
correct,
Hmm?
correct,
Stress was mentioned as a sickness, and people would laugh, or stress is not a sickness, but it
correct,
is. Now,
correct,
today we have come one big circle around, then say,
correct,
this stress is sickness.
correct,
And if somebody is stressed, you should be as much as say, a sick person. And
correct,
then you have to bring him out of that. So psycho-neuro-immunology, mind
correct,
you, these terms are very, very recent and they may
correct,
not be acceptable to anybody, to anybody and everybody. So it
correct,
doesn't matter. But then look at the extension of the problem here. If
correct,
the stress is equal to sickness,
correct,
and cancer even can be due to stress of that
correct,
kind. So
correct,
that is one indication why cancer is becoming so common. People
correct,
say cancer is becoming common in younger and younger patients.
correct,
Why is it so? It has nothing to do with chemistry as such. It is something to do with stress. And what is stress? Again,
correct,
going cyclically, stress is a disharmony of various elements involved in our biology.
correct,
Biology is an all-embracing term,
correct,
and it is there in operation.
correct,
Biology is not something that is taught in medical colleges and so forth, but it is
correct,
there.
correct,
So central nervous system and look at this, another word has been introduced,
correct,
neurovegetative system. Now, this you won't find anywhere that easily. You
correct,
can do a Google or you can do a chat, whatever. But eventually it boils down to endocrinology and immunology. The
exactly,
operational end result of that is endocrine and neurology.
correct.
And
So the
one
last
element
slide,
that has to be appreciated here, this is yeah, it's a last slide.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, non-communicable diseases. This is the
Hello.
last slide.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Now people would laugh at non-communicable diseases if we talked about it in therapy, in wards, hospital wards or the OPDs,
Correct.
and people would say non-communicable disease means, the fellow is under stress
Correct.
and he is not well. So that's it. That's the open and shut.
Correct.
He's got a disease which is not communicable, not like a TB or a leprosy,
Correct.
and that is non-communicable.
Correct.
That's the simplistic way of putting it. But now we know
Correct.
that non-communicable diseases are as severely affected by
Stress.
the factors like in cardiovascular disorder, cancers, and diabetes, and so forth. So all these blend again.
Correct.
The surprising element of blending is not simply neuroendocrinology, but things like cardiovascular and diabetes and cancers.
Correct.
It's like it's a mind-boggling
Mind-boggling
observation of the
combination.
whole thing.
Correct.
But there is, yeah, it is. It is happening. It
Correct.
is happening today. Even in Bombay, a recent study where I sort of participated, 70% of sicknesses in hospitals or OPDs were non-communicable.
Correct.
And you investigate the person left, right, and center,
Correct.
and you'll end up with no particular disease as such. And
Correct.
that is a non-communicable disease. And
Correct.
it is happening more in Chandigarh, it is happening more in
All over the
Kolkata
country.
and whatever. And
Doctor, I think we are about to
yeah,
be
and this
out
is
of
why the whole
time.
thing is blended.
Correct. We are about to be out of
Okay,
time.
yeah, that's it.
So
That's it.
So sorry, I'll summarize. I think today a little bit the asynchrony in slides
Good.
caused. Yeah. So I think summarizing today's talk, we talked about the important role of the open mind in reducing our stress. A lot of our stress in our life comes from the fact that we have some kind of a rigid or firm expectation in our mind of how the world should operate, how people should behave, how what outcome should be there, and that then makes us very upset and stressed with our environment. The more we do that, the more our psychology, our neurology, and our immunology actually get affected. Our Vedic sciences, various types of spirituality have emphasized the wisdom of having an open heart and an open mind to prevent ourselves from getting upset by all the things around us. When we don't get upset, our health improves because of exactly what we have been discussing. Things like non-communicable diseases are very, very linked to uh, our immunology or our immune systems being affected by the stress in our mind. And that's one of the in a single line, the purpose of today's talk was to say, if you have an open mind, and if you say, I have no strong point of view on anything, it actually helps you be much more open, flexible, and adaptable. Yes, doctor?
Absolutely, as usual, very elegant and concise description of the I think topic that we discussed, and it's a complicated topic and it is evolving,
Yeah.
but
We
it's
can have a
there,
further,
and
yeah,
Venkatesh
we'll have
did
a
full
further
justice.
discussion on it as well. Yeah, sometime. Thank you,
Venkatesh
doctor.
did a good full justice to the subject.
Thank
Thank
you, doctor.
you.
Look forward to the next. Take care.